My name is Tom Perloff, and welcome to my fourth video journal. The first area that I want to talk about is social competence. As a whole, that the program that I was observing was doing a really good job. It was neither a challenge nor an incredible strength, and I think that one of the realities of the situation is that while there are teachers that are trained to be able to do all of these things, that's not necessarily the same being true for classroom aides. In terms of specific things that were mentioned on the self-assessment tool, there were actually two different types of materials to encourage communication and social interaction that were being implemented. In addition, the teacher was the one who was conducting systematic, explicit instruction to promote the development of social skills. The aides were not doing it, and that when I was observing, the behavior specialist was not doing that as well. There seemed to have been some sort of tiff between the teacher and the behavior specialist. And finally, there are a few peer social network activities being implemented, and that those are occurring at recess as well as at lunch. The third area that I looked at was functional behavior. On the self-assessment tool, that was actually a real area of strength of the program of the class that I was observing. The FBAs are being conducted in collaboration with all family members and working together to get a really good hypothesis statement as well as behaviors to work on and interventions. The second thing is that the team does a very good job, the SLP, the teachers, the occupational therapists, school psychologists, in developing a comprehensive intervention plan, and they do it with the students. There's a very small number of students in the class, namely 6, so that they're able to adapt individual plans for each child, addressing their particular behaviors and the interventions they need. The classroom that I observed and completed the self-assessment tool for does a pretty good job with family involvement. Part of it is an area of strength. Part of it is an area where some work is needed, or a little bit of work is needed. The part that's a real strength is that the teacher has a real strong system for regular communication that's individualized per parent and child, and it's used every single day. And that the notes that are written are very family friendly. The teacher will go out, even in these pandemic times, to be able to speak individually to the parents at the level that is appropriate for them. The part that needs a little bit of ramping up is that the teacher does a really good job about providing some information that's important to everyone, but not all of the other members of the team. The team do. The speech and language therapist is very busy and doesn't have the opportunity or the time to be able to communicate as often. What they communicate is really good. It's not over the top, it's not offensive, but what's happening is that they don't regularly have time to do that. Finally, the fifth and final area in the self-assessment tool was teaming. Teaming is a real mixed bag with that particular class. There's some odd dynamics. An area that they do a relatively good job at is that team members taking responsibilities for the decisions and implementing what they're asked to. The SLP does a good job implementing what they're asked to. The OT does, as well as a special day class teacher. An area that requires a little bit of assistance is in terms of collaborative relationships. The special day class teacher has challenges getting along with other members of the staff. They are able to get along with the speech and language teacher, but they have trouble with the other teachers, so that it makes it really hard. While they do have regular meetings, tend to be sideways conversations or sideways emails. And an area that is somewhere between a challenge and having some work to do is about regarding paraprofessionals. The special day class teacher has provided some pretty good training, but is for her aides, but it's been extremely limited.